Oleksandr Usyk has offered to assist Anthony Joshua during his comeback. He says, if he needs my help, I'll go to his camp. Well, what kind of help does he mean? Is he talking about sparring? And if that is the case, we'll come on to that a little bit later on. But to quote him directly, he said, if he needs my help, I'll go to his camp and help him. He is not 40 years old. He's 33, so he should keep working. Anthony, don't stop. I understand that he wanted to win against me, but Anthony can't give up. He must go forward. It's wrong to think that he had stolen my moment. And he's talking about the outburst in the ring. He called it a mistake by Joshua, but he said, it's wrong to think that he had stolen my moment. He said what he wanted. Thank God the victory was mine. Anthony cannot be judged by what he did. He is a top-level athlete and a good person. He made a mistake. I'm sure he did it with no anger. He was disappointed with his defeat, and he was sad. Okay, so those are the words of Oleksandr Usyk. Now, there may be some mistranslation here from Usyk's language to English, or maybe Usyk conducted the interview in English. I'm not sure. But when he said there was no anger, what I think he meant was there was no malice on Joshua's behalf by saying what he said and by doing what he did. Okay. Now, it's interesting that Usyk is offering AJ his help. Is it in terms of the way he trains? Is it his mindset? Is it technical pointers? Or is it actually sparring? Because if it's sparring, then that is going to give fuel to the Tyson Fury fans and Tyson Fury himself. Because Usyk is saying he can't fight Fury in December due to injuries and he needs some time to be with his family and so on. But if he's going to be in AJ's camp sparring him, why would you be doing that if you've got a Tyson Fury fight coming up and you're worried about healing from injuries? You see? Or maybe he wouldn't be ready to help AJ in his first camp. Maybe he's talking about his camps after that. Who knows? But I do have to put that out there in the interest of fairness. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Vladimir Klitschko. Obviously, he lost to Anthony Joshua, but well, they first met up in Klitschko's camp when AJ was brought in as a sparring partner. And from that point, Klitschko said that he would be willing to help AJ. You know, he liked AJ, they got along and so on and so forth. And he'd always be there to give him advice. And he has given AJ a lot of advice over the years. But even after he lost to AJ, he continued that relationship whereby he would give him advice and this, that, and the other. And this is a similar situation to me. It's like, for whatever reason, Klitschko liked AJ. Usyk seems to like AJ. You know, there's something about it. Maybe his way and his attitude is compatible somewhat with Eastern Europeans, or at least Eastern European athletes, because AJ is normally quite a reserved person. He's normally, how can you put it, corporate, you know, politically correct and all that kind of thing. And a lot of the Eastern European guys are like that as well. You know, there's this kind of reserved attitude and they don't really show emotions that often and all this kind of thing. And, you know, AJ's outburst after the Usyk rematch aside, he's generally been like that. So is this the reason? And also his mentality of trying to learn from people, you know, the way he was with Klitschko and what have you. Maybe that resonates with them as well. I don't know, but it isn't the first time that a former AJ opponent has offered to help him. And do I think this is something like what Tyson Fury did with AJ? It was like, oh yeah, I'll help you out, AJ. I'll train you for the Usyk rematch. Is it something like that? Because Usyk himself has said that he would fight Anthony Joshua again. So is Usyk trying to actually put AJ in his pocket? Is he trying to son him? That's an old New York word from back in the days, right? To son someone is literally to treat them like your son, to put them under your wing, to, you know, keep them under manners, so to speak. Is that what Usyk is trying to do here? Is he acting like he's trying to help, but really what he's doing is he's putting AJ in his pocket psychologically. So if he does fight him again next time, it's going to be even easier than it was the first two times. Who knows? All things are possible, I guess. But my suspicion is that this is just a genuine offer of help from Oleksandr Usyk. I don't think there's anything, shady behind it or what have you. I think that for whatever reason, he kind of likes the guy and he does want to see him succeed. But again, there is also the narrative that some people will prefer. It's not about whether it's true or not. It's about what they prefer. There are going to be other people who prefer the narrative that Usyk doesn't really fancy the Fury fight next. So he's putting AJ in the way as a roadblock. Some people are going to say, well, Usyk wants AJ to fight Fury to see if AJ can do Fury some damage. That's going to be a narrative, I'm sure, that some people will be running with. But I haven't seen anything as of yet to convince me that that would be the case. I just think it's Usyk genuinely wanted to help him. And with regards to Usyk Fury, again, Usyk has always been a straightforward guy when it comes to making fights. There's never been any messing around with him. So I've got no reason at this point to believe he's messing around with Fury. I think that, I know that he's had injuries over the past few years, his elbow and maybe shoulder, a couple other injuries, because he was supposed to fight Carlos Takam at one point. You guys remember that? And that fight didn't happen because Usyk was injured. So he does pick up injuries. And at this age, particularly 35, you're going in there against a huge heavyweight like AJ, who's, at least in some of the rounds, attacking you with ferocity. You can hurt an elbow, you can hurt an arm. It's a stressful situation for your body, so I can give him the benefit of the doubt on that. And let's hope that he's ready for the early part of 2023 for the Undisputed Showdown, assuming Tyson Fury gets past whoever he ends up fighting in December, if he fights in December. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this particular story.